Hi class, welcome to CHEM1152 hybrid course. I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you today for your mandatory orientation session, so I thought I'd put together a welcome video that you can use throughout the semester to remind yourself about where everything is in the D2l course. So what we're looking at here is the D2l page, as you guys should see it when you log on. There's a welcome message from me, which includes my email address in case you ever need to get a hold of me. Okay, then if we scroll down a little bit, you'll see a couple of things. You're going to see a content browser on the left, a calendar button on the right, and a welcome message down in the bottom right hand corner. Okay, let's go to the content first. Okay, so let's click on content. Take a look at the content. Now, the first tab that's of interest to you is going to be the Start Here Course Information button, and you're going to see some tabs. The first tab says Syllabus. Inside that tab, there are two syllabi. One is for the course itself and one is for the lab. Okay, two separate syllabi, one for the course itself and one for the lab. The next button you're going to see is the lab schedule. Okay, the lab schedule, which is going to show you what days we have which experiments, what days we have exams, and when things are due. So let's just take a second here to let this thing load. I'm sorry, my internet appears to be a bit slow today. Okay. There we go. Okay, lab schedule. So you'll notice today we have orientation. Next week is a TBA. That does not mean we have lab off. Please stay tuned for announcements. We do, however, have lab off on the 19th for Martin Luther King Day. And then you'll notice that our first actual experiment is scheduled for the 26th of January. It's the Introduction to Organic Chemistry. And on the right-hand side, you'll see the date that lab is due. So we're doing the lab on the 26th. It's due on the 2nd of February. On the 2nd of February, we also have our first exam, which is going to be chapters 12 through 15. And then you'll see we have another lab, then we have a TBA, another lab, an exam. So again, please keep in mind that those TBAs do not mean that we don't have lab. They just mean that the activity for that date has not been announced yet. Okay, so let's go back. So lab schedule, and that is always available to you. Okay. Under helpful information, we have 7 tips for success in online courses and study tips for Chem Online. Keep in mind that this is a hybrid course, which means that the bulk of your work is going to be done at home on your computer. We're only going to meet once a week face-to-face for labs and exams. Okay, so this is essentially a mostly online course, hence the hybrid title. Okay. When I finish recording this, in this bucket here will be the introductory video. Of course, it's not there right now because I'm recording it. And then finally, you'll see the quiz. So in this bucket is the syllabus quiz, which I strongly recommend you complete right after lab or sometime this afternoon. It is due on Saturday evening. Okay, so it's due this evening. Okay, now if we continue on along the content, you'll notice there is a tab for each chapter. So chapters 12 through 24 all have a tab. If we click on the first one, we click on chapter 12, you'll see that there are several. Come on. There we go. You'll see that there are several tabs within each chapter. The first tab is your Handout tab. Okay, those tabs contain your notes. Okay, the things that you should use while you're reading the textbook to help you go through the material. Okay, the next tab are your videos. These are not your traditional lecture videos. They're not hour-long videos. Instead, they're shorter videos meant to help you with the concepts within the chapter. Okay. Then you'll also see a tab called Practice Problems. The practice problems are not graded. Okay, the practice problems are strictly for your benefit. And so you'll see at the bottom down here a sub-tab that says Solutions. Okay, since these are not graded, the solutions are provided to you. So again, you have practice problems and you have the solutions. Okay. Underneath that, you will see your quiz. There is a quiz for each chapter. So if you display the quiz tab, you can link right to your quiz there. And you'll notice that the due date is posted for you as well. Okay, on the next tab down, you'll see PowerPoint slides. These are the slides that are provided by the publisher. I recommend that you use these strictly as supplementary information. They do have worked out problems throughout the slides, but again, you really should be using your textbook and the videos and the handouts. These PowerPoint slides are strictly meant as supplementary material to help you through the course. And then finally, you'll notice a tab called Checklist. Okay, on the tab called Checklist, if you click on that checklist, okay, you will see, now it looks a little different because I'm listed as the instructor. You can see check marks here next to each thing. For you, you're going to see a little box which you can check off the things as you do them. So this is kind of meant to help you keep organized. Within each chapter, you have your homework, you have your quiz, and then you have your study materials. Okay, so within the checklist, you can go in here and check things off as you do them to help keep yourself on track. So if you've completed the homework for chapter 12, click on the little box. It'll show you a check mark. And then from then on, you'll know you've done it. If you've taken the quiz, click on the little box and you will always know that you did it. As you go through the study materials, if you've read sections 12.1 and 12.2, you can put checks next to each box. So again, this feature is meant to help keep you organized. Okay. Every chapter is set up the same. So every chapter has these tabs: handouts, videos, practice problems, quiz, PowerPoint slide, and checklist. So that is the material for the actual course. Now, we also have a tab down at the bottom that says labs. Okay. Within this tab, there are two subcategories: important information and experiments. If you click on important information, you will again find your lab syllabus and your lab schedule. Okay, those are also listed in the Start Here course information. It's the exact same file, but I wanted it to be really handy for you guys. So again, the lab schedule and the lab syllabus are also in the lab tab. Okay, then under experiments, you have the manual that you will need to complete each experiment. So you do not have to buy a lab manual in the bookstore. However, you do have to print out each experiment beforehand. Okay. There isn't anything in here right now, but as our exams come up, I will be posting exam review materials. It may be something as simple as a short study guide. It may be something as involved as problems. It depends on how the course goes. But there will definitely be some exam review materials in that tab. Okay, again, so course home, we have our content on the left, our welcome message. You also have a calendar. If you click on the calendar, there are several different ways you can view the information. For example, you can view the information the way I have it shown here as a list of dates. So you can see here your syllabus quiz is due January 5th at 11:30 p.m. Your chapter 12 quiz due is due January 13th. Your homework is also due January 13th for chapter 12. Chapter 13, homework. So again, you can view this as a list. You can also change the view to show you it as a calendar. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. If we click on month, you can show it as a calendar for those of you that prefer this format. You can also print this out. So if you don't like to look at it online, you can click up here on the print button in the upper right hand corner and print out the calendar. Okay. However, whatever works for you. I also know that there is a way in your settings to set D2l to send you notifications to your cell phone. I am not tech savvy enough to know how to do this. I only know it's possible because some of my students have told me it's possible. So you may want to ask some of your classmates if they know how to do that, because I don't. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, so we have our calendar, our welcome message, our content. I'm trying to think what else is important for you guys to be able to find. Communication button. If we click on the communication button, you'll see a button called FAQ. frequently asked questions. If you click on that button, it will take you to my FAQ page, which has all of the questions that I get from students every single semester. Now, you can view by all categories, or you can click on this category button and sort. So you can say, for example, you have a question about homework. You can click on the homework, click apply, and it will pull up all the questions pertaining for homework, such as how do I register? What if I don't finish in time? When is homework due? If you have a question about a lab, you can click on labs, click apply, and there's all the questions that I get asked frequently about labs. Okay, so again, communication, FAQ will take you there. You can also click on communication, click on discussions, and you will notice that there are 2 chats already started for you guys. One is the meet and greet, which is a place to introduce yourself. This is a mostly online course, so I created this so that you guys can get together amongst each other, set up study groups, post useful resources if you find them. Pretty much it's for whatever you guys need it to be. And then there's also a second one that says questions about the course or the syllabus. If you cannot find the answer to your question on the FAQ sheet, please post it here, and I promise I will update my FAQ sheet with the answer to your question. Okay, so again, that was communication discussions. I think that is everything. Under assessments, you have several tabs. You have assignments, quizzes. If you don't want to reach your quiz through the chapter tab, you can also click on assessments, click on quizzes, and this will take you to all of your quizzes at once. So if you want to see all the quizzes in one spot. Let me see here. Anything else very important? Communications. Oh, grades. Let's talk about grades real quick. Okay, whoa, that was not kind of what I wanted to do here. Thankfully, there's no grades in here yet. Manage grades. Okay, menu. Here we go. Okay, breakdown of the course. Quizzes are worth 15% of your grade. There is a syllabus quiz and 1 quiz per chapter. Okay, you have 2 attempts at each quiz, and the highest of the 2 attempts will automatically be calculated. There are 3 chapter exams spread throughout the semester. They total 30% of your grade. Okay, the final exam is cumulative, meaning it covers all of the material throughout the semester, and it's worth 20% of your grade. And then finally, you have the labs. Okay, you have the labs, which are due, again, there's a schedule with the name of each lab and when it is due in D2l under your lab syllabus. And there are 3 lab projects, which we will talk more about as we get closer to the first one. Then there's homework, which is worth 15% of your grade. Okay, there's homework, which is worth 15% of your grade. The number of questions on those varies. Okay, I think that just about covers everything. Of course, if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to email me. And my email address is ekingstowe. That is not a typo. Georgia Highlands cuts the N off my name. ekingstowe@highlands.edu. Thanks for listening, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day.